Konnichiwa everybody, welcome back. As you might well be aware, and if not, why not? It was the Black Country Gaming Market at the weekend, organised by Dainster and Ant Harper of Retro Gear at a Hidden Chest Gaming. First event they'd ever done together, and I just wanted to sort of throw my two penneth in the ring. And after going to the event, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I think the boys did a cracking job. Such a nice event to walk around, such a lovely atmosphere, and it really got off to a sort of a poignant start really, because obviously, as you're all aware, sadly John Retro Kid passed away a few weeks ago, and it was obviously going to be his local event, and he would obviously have been there at the weekend, but it was a real lovely touch that they put in memory of John Retro Kit on the wristbands we wore at the event. So I thought that was a real nice touch, and a great way of paying tribute to John really, who's obviously sorely missed by everybody, including his loved ones, and his partner was there at the event, though I didn't speak to her myself. It was nice she felt able to attend. Before the sort of queuing up before we went into the event, the first person I saw was Mike Mally Club, who was a great friend of John's, and it was lovely to have a chat with Mike for a few minutes, more than I had done previously when I'd met him really. And it was just nice to chat about John and sort of share a few of Mike's memories really. It was really nice. So that got the day off to a great start. And if you're not sort of sub to Mike, go give him a watch and a sub, Mally Club. I'll try and put a link in the description if I can remember. He's a great lad. So go and watch his vids, because he does the regular stuff, pickups and all that kind of stuff. Real nice lad. But yeah, then on to the event. I mean, fairly small in comparison to sort of more established events, as you'd expect. But I think there's about 20 or 25 tables. And although it was like I say, a brand new event, there was lots of people there. The turnout was brilliant. The lads must be over the moon. It's just testament to the great job they did organising it really, and getting people aware of it. And obviously we've probably tried to plug it along a bit where we can. But it really turned out well, I thought. So although there was plenty of people there, it was nice and easy to walk around. It was very welcoming atmosphere. Lots of varied and interesting stalls. And one particular thing I thought was great was the fact that it wasn't all stalls you'd normally expect to see. There were some which I'd never seen before, and apparently, according to Dana, they were just local people who turned up, paid for a table, just to sell their own collection, which, that was a really great aspect of it, I think. And there was one stall in particular that I liked the look of, solely because they've got import games, and that's my passion. And it got some decent games at really competitive prices, I think. I know Pete Fighter picked one up, which was a real bargain. And there was a couple on there I would have liked myself if I'd have had a bit more cash, and unfortunately it didn't come at a very good time for me. But such is life. Hopefully, I'm sure they're going to do more in the future. I've already seen Ant's video this morning saying that they are going to, so that's amazing. I'm looking forward to the next one already. If you want to see some footage of the event, again, I'll put a link to Ant Harper's video in the description below. If you click on that, he does a small tour of the event, I think before it opens, to be honest, so there's no people in the way. You can see all the stalls nicely. But yeah, it was a great stall, some great varied items. There was a guy selling these light up signs. They were wicked. I'd have loved one of them, but I've just got nowhere to hang it, so it would have been a waste of time and money for me. But that's such cool items. I think Pete Fighter and Sean, Retro Games Revived, picked one of them up. as they put in their videos. But yeah, it was great to meet a few new faces. Well, I say a few. I think I met Steve Cooper's well for the first time, briefly, sporting a rather funky Red Bull jacket. He was the only new person I'd spoke to that I hadn't spoke to before, I think. It was great to catch up with everyone else I had met before. I did see Retro Ed there. Unfortunately, he was talking to somebody when I saw him, so I didn't want to butt in, and then I didn't see him again before I left, unfortunately. So I'm sorry I missed you, Ed. I had to leave about 12:30, unfortunately. I'd got commitments, so I couldn't hang around too long, unfortunately. But I also passed on my Amiga to Mrs. Bear, Retro Repair Bear. So as you can see behind me, the Amiga is now gone, unfortunately, because it's broken. So fingers crossed Mrs. Bear can work her magic and sort it out for me without too much complication. So it'd be good to get that back at some point. But yeah, there was, like I say, plenty of stalls to look at. Great atmosphere, great feel about the event. You know, like I say, you could talk to somebody with, you know, comfort. You weren't feeling like you were in the way all the time, and you could get to the stalls, see everything. It was brilliant. Loved it. So just got to say, well done, Ant and Danny. You did a great job. I didn't pick up much myself. Like I say, it wasn't a good time of the. It wasn't a good time for me in terms of having much cash available. So I'd more or less gone. I didn't take any cash with me. I'd more or less gone with the intention of just picking up a few bits out of Eddie's bargain bin that I'd wished I'd bought at Doncaster and didn't. Which is primarily what I did. Though I did pick up another one or two that I wasn't intending to. So I'll just quickly run through what I got off Eddie. Like I say, I didn't buy anything from anyone else purely because I didn't take the cash with me because I didn't or couldn't afford to spend it. So off Eddie, I've picked up Namco Museum 2. I'm trying to get all these. I couldn't remember which ones I'd got. Unfortunately, Eddie had got 2 or 3 of them. So I was confident I hadn't got this one. But with hindsight, having come back and checked, there was another one I should have bought, but never mind. This one's got 6 games on, as I think most of them have. And we've got QT, Gapless, Xevious, Grobda, Mappy and Dragon Buster. I've only tried Xevious so far, and it don't seem a very good emulation on that one. It seems to slow down quite a lot, but nevertheless, glad to have it. Then we've got, that was Japanese PS1. Then we've got American PS1. We've got Track and Field 2000. Now this was actually brand new and sealed. A brand new sealed PS1 game after 25 years. Amazing. Used to love the original on the PS1 back in the day. I've never played this more modern version up until buying this. I've had a quick go now. It's more like Hypersports really than Track and Field. There's more like other Olympic events, more so than sort of the field and track events, you know, the cycling and diving and weightlifting, that kind of stuff, but actually seems quite decent. I will put some footage up of the ones I've had time to try. Then the next one I've picked up is the Dukes of Hazzard 2, Daisy Dukes It Out. Now, I knew this was a turd before I bought it, because I had the original back in the day, and that was a turd back then. So I just picked this up purely because it was cheap, and I wanted to see how bad it plays now. Funnily enough, I was talking to Russ at the event and Pete Fighter, and we were sort of saying how bad this was, and it doesn't disappoint. It's a total massive steaming turd, as you'll see. It's awful, but it was great for the nostalgia just to be able to try it again, really. Apparently the Xbox version, according to Russ, is worth playing, so I'm going to look out for that now. Cheers, Russ. And then also on the US PS1, we've got Moto Racer 2, Now again, I really quite liked this back in the day. So this is more of a case of seeing how it's turned out. I'm expecting it to be quite bad, to be honest. Or I was expecting it to be quite bad after all these years. But it's not awful, to be honest. Plays alright, it's just a bit twitchy, the controls, but probably going to get used to it if I play it a bit more. But it still looks decent. So that was a bit of a surprise, really. But then I also got out the bargain bin. Revolt. This is on American Dreamcast. Now I've never had this on Dreamcast before. I've only played the N64 one, which is a good game actually. But obviously, having now tried this, it's still a good game, but it just looks a lot nicer on the Dreamcast. So that was the one I'd gone with the intention of buying, because I didn't buy it at Doncaster. Really, that's the main one I wanted. Then there was another two that I picked up. I've got this one, which I didn't, to be honest, know what it was at the time, aside from it was a Jap racing game. All it says on the box is cinematic racing, the rest's all in Japanese. But it looks, or it looked, like a sort of Japanese street racing game, like Tokyo Highway Battle. Having done a bit of a Google since I got back, it's actually a Wangan game, which there's a series of on the PS1, 2, 3 and Saturn. Good games actually, and this is really good. I'm really pleased with this. You can play it in sort of an arcade race mode, or I think there's more of an adventure based mode, because you've got all the nice Japanese ladies to impress, and it's a 2-disc game, so I think if you play that mode, you know, there's all lots of video scenes with the ladies. But yeah, that is really good. I haven't tracked down the actual name of it. It seems a bit confusing. There's a couple that come up that it might be. So aside from it being a Wangan game, I'm not actually 100% on the actual precise name of it. So I'm chuffed with that. Then the last one I've picked up, I think this was a new addition to Eddie's stall. He'd put this in since Doncaster. I don't remember seeing it. And I was looking at it, and both Eddie and Dylan had said it's a decent shooter. It's nothing spectacular, but it's decent. And I looked at the event at a video as best I could, because the signal was terrible, and it looked all right. So I decided to pick it up, and it's 210 kaku for the Japanese PlayStation, and it is a vertical shooter. And I've got to agree with Eddie and Dylan, it is a fairly unspectacular game, but it's decent and really not bad at all. It just doesn't do anything spectacular, it's just competent, and it's really quite good. You've got a choice of ships, each with their own sort of firing styles. It's nice and complete. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it a bit more actually. It's really quite good. Hopefully I've put some footage up, and that's all I picked up. Like I say, I didn't really go to buy anything at all really, except a couple of cheapies, and I've more or less stuck to that really. And that was it. It was a great day out. Really enjoyed it, and it was great to meet everybody again that I saw there. And it was a great day all round. Just well done, Ant and Dana. Brilliant organisation. Good luck for the next one. I can't wait to attend whenever it might be. And the social aspect of these events is by far the best thing, really. It's absolutely brilliant. And that's it, really. So thanks for watching. Check out those videos. I'll put the link to in the description, like I say. And we'll see you soon, all being well. Sayonara. Oh, actually, sorry, I forgot. There was a chap I spoke to on Eddie's stall who was having a look around when I was at Eddie's stall myself. Real nice guy. I don't know who he was, and he probably don't watch this, but if you do by any chance, mate, nice to meet you. We were talking about Sega Rally. He was a massive Sega Rally fan and a massive Saturn fan, so much respect. Brilliant console. But I was talking about Sega Rally on the PS2, how it's such an amazing game and worth buying a console for. So I just thought that's the reason I put it on the screen during this episode, just on the off chance that guy, whoever he was, happens to watch. He was a real nice lad. Really enjoyed talking to you if you happen to watch this. But there you go. I just put it on the screen for you anyway. So yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot. I'll see you soon. Sayonara.